King was also involved in kidnapping.
Oh, yeah.
What knowledge do you have of that?
They'd have what they'd call catalog kids.
Mm-hmm.
They would basically just go out driving around looking for kids.
Uh-huh.
And they would take pictures of them and go to these wealthy, influential people and say, would you be interested in this one or that one or the next one?
Mm-hmm.
And they would basically go snatch them.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much what happened to Johnny Gosch.
So Johnny Gosch was definitely part of this orbit in his selection and kidnapping.
Yeah.
All right. What was done with Johnny? Do you know what was done with him?
He was basically made into a sex slave.
Yeah.
Put him down like in a basement or somewhere and hide him out of the way and get them moved from one place to another.
Mm-hmm.
It gets to the point to where when you have a captive person, they're angry and frustrated at first, so they basically confine them or drug them.
Yeah.
And then they get to the point to where this person is craving personal interaction.
Right.
To where there's no other people around but the people who have made them captive.
Right.
And they get to the point to where they actually start liking the person.
Kind of like the Stockholm Syndrome, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And they know this when they take these kids.
Yeah.
It's a psychological game. The military uses this a lot to where the MK Ultra and things like that, they have ways to actually split a personality. Paul Bonacci, if I remember right, he has 13 different personalities.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen a few of them. It's bizarre because you're sitting here, you're talking to this person, and it's a whole other person you're talking to.
Yeah.
But yet it's the same body.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of eerie, actually.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's talk about the investigation itself and some of the stuff that went on with DeCamp and Senator Schmidt. Gary Caradori, who was a retired Nebraska highway patrolman, went into private investigative work, was hired by the committee to investigate this stuff. Caradori died in a plane crash. What do you know about that, and what do you know about some of these photographs that allegedly exist concerning very important people?
They were mine.
Oh, they were?
Yes.
Okay, what were they photographs of?
They were photographs showing various kids being with these influential people, enough so to where it would prove that if they were missing or something, that where they were at, and get a lot of questions going. Okay. And raise a lot of eyebrows.
Okay.
There was names, there was dates to go with the faces.
Okay.
And that's what was on the plane. I was very reluctant about working with him.
Were you the contact that he flew to Chicago to meet?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's the first time I've said anything publicly about that.
All right.
I'm probably one of the last people to see him alive.
You delivered what to him? He flew up with his 8-year-old son on the plane to. He flew up to Chicago with his 8-year-old son on the plane.
Yes.
Met with you.
I gave him pictures, dates, places, my memoirs. While I was going through this, I was meticulous about keeping notes.
I'd imagine for your protection.
Well, yes.
Yeah.
I used to keep a diary. It was an assortment of things that would tie in a lot of people. For instance, what I've been told, there are 23 children that have been to the White House very quietly. The after-hours tours, yes, they do have them. And the kids that would go there would never be seen again. And they may go a few times or that, but it was all hush-hush. Yeah. When they were done with them, it was done.
And you never saw them again?
Nope.
Can you speculate on what you think might have happened to them?
I would bet they're probably with the fishes.
In DeCamp's book, I think he references the fact that you'd made a statement that something about for photographs, I guess, or the knowledge that you had, some people would die if they didn't get their hands on those photographs or something to that effect.
Oh, yeah. Some people have died because of my photographs. I feel very badly about that.
Yeah.
Gary Caradori and his son. I believe his son was like 10 years old, Brian.
Yeah.
And Gary had no idea what he was getting when I came up, and I didn't want him anywhere near where I was at. So we met in Chicago.
Yeah.
And what was really strange about this is his plane supposedly, quote, broke apart over Aurora, Illinois.
Yeah.
Which happens to be the town where Chief Wadman happened to be the police chief after he was run out of Omaha.
Really?
Yes.
So Caradori's plane comes down over Aurora, Illinois. I remember it crashes into a farmer's field.
Yep.
Photographs and everything are blowing all over the place, and the police show up, FBI shows up, and everything is confiscated, and the farmer is threatened.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
The deputy got out there, and he was there only a couple minutes, and the FBI shows up. And they flat out threatened him. And they told him, you did not see anything, you do not tell anybody, you keep it quiet. Well, about a year later, he started to talk about it a little bit. His wife was murdered.
Really?
Yeah.
Good heavens. So, wow. This is an incredible story.